Good morning, students. This is the lesson of class 9 for the subject of geography, topic Introduction to Latitudes and Longitudes, which is covered in chapter 2, Latitudes and Longitudes, starting on page number 19 of your textbook and is being submitted to you on 12th of April 2021. So now let us start with our topic and discuss about Introduction to Latitudes and Longitudes. The Earth's surface is so vast that unless a mathematical method is used, it is impossible to locate any place on it. For this reason, imaginary lines are drawn on the globe. The lines running east to west parallel to the equator are called lines of latitude. The lines running north to south passing through the poles are called lines of longitude. The intersection of latitude and longitude pinpoint any place on the Earth's surface. These crisscrossing lines form a framework known as geographic grid. Eratosthenes, the Greek philosopher who had first time calculated the circumference of the earth, had devised latitude and longitude to locate places on the earth. Lines of latitude. A latitude is an angular distance of a place north or south of the equator. It is marked in degrees, with equator being 0 degree. Latitudes are calculated according to the angle a place makes with the center of the earth. As if here this is the equator and it is making an angle of 30 degree. So the line joining the 30-degree angle everywhere on the earth's surface forms the latitude of 30° north. Since the line of latitude are parallel to the equator and each other, they are called parallels of latitude. Each parallel of latitude is a full circle. However, only the equator is a great circle. A great circle is a circle which divides the earth into two equal halves. As you can see, this is the center of this particular circle which divides it into two equal halves, whereas all others does not able to divide it. Hence they are known as the small circles. So only the equator is the great circle and all other latitudes are small circles. The lines of latitude are not of equal length and become smaller as we move towards the poles. From equator towards the poles, the length of these latitudes decreases. At poles, these lines are just point or dots. There are 181 parallels of latitude. So overall, we have 181 latitudes on the surface of the earth at an angle at an interval of 1 degree, 90 in the north and 90 in the south, and along with that the equator. Now let us discuss about some important latitudes. So some important latitudes are North Pole 90° north, South Pole 90° south, Tropic of Cancer, which is at 23.5° north, then Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5° south, Equator at 0°, Arctic Circle at 66.5° north, and Antarctic Circle at 66.5° south. The length of the equator is equal to the circumference of the earth, that is 40,077 kilometers. Since the circumference of a circle is equal to 360°, the 1 degree angular distance is roughly equal to 101 kilometers. Now let us discuss about the importance of latitudes. Latitudes along with longitudes enable us to spot the location of a place on the Earth's surface. Second, lines of latitude divides the Earth into various heat zones or the climatic zones. These lines indicate the general climate of the area by applying the principle of heat zones of the Earth. The first zone is the torrid or tropical zone. It lies between Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. Second is the temperate zone, which lies between the Arctic Circle and Tropic of Cancer, and the southern hemisphere, Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle. The third is frigid zone or the polar zone. It lies between Arctic Circle and the North Pole and Antarctic Circle and the South Pole. Now students, before going any further in the topic, let me ask you a few questions, after which you may pause the lesson for 3 minutes. So your questions are: number 1, dash the Greek philosopher who had first time calculated the circumference of the earth. Number 2, define latitude. And number 3, there are dash number of parallels of latitude at 1 degree interval. So you may now pause the lesson for 3 minutes. As the 3-minute break is over, children, so let us now discuss their answers. Answer number 1 is Eratosthenes. He is the Greek philosopher who had first time calculated the circumference of the earth. Number 2, a latitude is the angular distance of a place north or south of the equator. And number 3, there are overall 181 parallel of latitudes at 1 degree interval. Now let us resume with our topic and discuss about the lines of longitude. So longitudes is the angular distance of a place east or west of the prime meridian. The prime meridian is the line of longitude whose angular distance is defined as 0 degree. So this is the prime meridian, and here the angular distance is almost of about 40 degrees. So this is the longitude 40 degree shown here. It passes, prime meridian passes through Greenwich near London. The lines of longitude are also called Meridian of Longitude. And overall there are 360 lines of longitude at 1 degree interval. The word meridian is derived from the Latin word meridianum, means noon. The sun crosses a meridian at noon time. So all places on a particular meridian will have noon at the same time. So here it is, various lines of longitude, the prime meridian and the other longitudes. The prime meridian is numbered as 0 degree and the others are numbered between 0 to 180 degree east or west. The line 180 degree east and west refers to the same line, same meridian. Thus, 0 degree and 180 degree meridian together makes a full circle. Prime meridian 0 degree and 180 degree at the last, at the end. They forms a full circle. The two diametrically opposite lines of longitudes make a full circle, also known as the great circle, as if it divides the earth into two equal halves. So, all the longitudes who are diametrically opposite and the equator, only the equator, is the great circle. The distance between two lines of longitude is maximum at the equator and it is maximum at the equator, and the distance gradually decreases as we move towards the poles. So lines of longitudes usually converges at the poles, North Pole and the South Pole. Now let us discuss about the importance of longitude. So longitude along with latitude helps us to locate a place on the map or globe. Second, longitudes are used to determine the time with reference to the time at prime meridian, that we will discuss in the further chapter. Now students, let us recapitulate the topic by means of a quick retest. I'll ask you again the questions, after which you may pause the lesson for 5 minutes. So question number 1, it's a fill-up. The distance between two consecutive parallels of latitude is dash. Second, name the 3 heat zones of the earth. Number 3, there are a total of dash lines of longitude at 1 degree interval. Number 4. Which latitude is a great circle? And number 5. All places on a particular dash will have noon at the same time. So students, you may now pause the lesson for 5 minutes. Now the time slot given for writing the answers is over, children. So let us now discuss their answers. Answer number 1 is 111 kilometer approximately. Number 2, the heat zones are torrid, temperate zone and polar zone. Number 3, there are total of 360 lines of longitude at a 1 degree interval. Number 4, the equator is the only great circle. Number 5, all places on a particular meridian will have noon at the same time. Now students, your homework for today. Now do the following questions of the book's back exercise, page number 31. Answer the following questions, distinguish between and draw a neat diagram. With this, I conclude this interactive session. Thank you.